Coming up, a new home security camera. Chad Johnson has the review. I've got some great new headphones that make me look like a 1943 Morse code operator, but work with your smartphone. Shannon Morse reviews the aptly named Ripu, and Mike Elgin has the new Kindle Fire 6 and 7. It's time to watch before you buy.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Before You Buy is brought to you by CashFly at CACHEFLY.com. Before You Buy is brought to you by Harry's. For guys who want a great shave experience for a fraction of what you're paying now, go to harrys.com. Get $5 off your first purchase by entering the code Before You Buy when you check out. And by Blue Apron. Blue Apron will send you all the ingredients to cook fresh, delicious meals with simple step-by-step instructions right to your door. To see what's on the menu this week and get your first 2 meals free, go to blueapron.com/twit. That's blueapron.com/twit.
I love these headphones. Oh, anyway, time for Before You Buy, the Twit product review show where we get some of the latest and greatest stuff, give it to our staff, give them a chance to bang on it, and give us a real-world review. And Chad Johnson is here. OMG Chad, host of the show OMG Craft on YouTube, and you could support that at patreon.com/OMGChad.
Yep.
Home security camera. This is the Izon, I-Z-O-N, View.
Izon View. So this is the Izon View. It's a kind of a little stick camera. And
what makes it, I mean, the form factor's different.
Absolutely. So this is for your house. They call it like a room monitor, which is, you can think of it like a baby monitor, but for a room instead of just, just a single crib or something like that.
So it's sound and picture.
Sound and picture, and then it sends that back to the app so that you can view it. Now I have the app running right here on my phone.
Right,
this might be the buggiest app I have ever used.
That good, huh?
In my entire life.
Wow.
I set this up at home and everything went fairly smoothly, but I'm trying to get it set up here at the brick house, and it is just refusing to work. I've been futzing with it for about 30 minutes now, trying to make sure that it can work on our network.
Were you able to get it working at home?
At home, it worked just fine.
I'll be honest, we have a lot of trouble with the Wi-Fi network here. There's so many devices, so many networks. That's not necessarily a strike against it. So
well,
when you
one
were
of the
using
frustrating
it at home,
things is that the only way that it really has to tell you what's going wrong is through an LED at the front that only blinks between two, green or orange. So you have to use some sort of Morse code technology to figure out what's going on with the camera as it's trying to set itself up. I'm just going to give up on setting it up and letting you see a live feed. Just to imagine, if you would, that once you set it up, it would stream back to your phone. The app is very, very slow, and you can also see that it's really just not well designed. It looks like it was made, here I can turn down my brightness just a bit. It looks like it was possibly made using PowerPoint or some other, similar product from the 1990s. So once you have it set up, this will be the camera that you have. You have multiple cameras, they'll all show up right here. This one's inaccessible. I don't quite know why.
So you can have more than one?
You can have more than one.
Okay. Is it kind of unlimited, or?
Yeah, so far as I know, that it is. With the camera, you can set up motion events and sound events. So I have a few motion events. You can save them by tapping the little lock icon. You can unlock.
Is there a central server it's saving it to, or does?
This is all in the cloud.
Okay, so they have their own cloud database of the video, because otherwise your phone would have to always be attached.
Right, absolutely.
All right, okay.
Now, you get a certain amount of these saved. Like if I was to unlock one, I think it'll tell me that, or if I go to lock it, it'll say, now you have 95 more that you can lock and save forever. On top of that, whenever there's an event, it will save that clip, but it'll only save a certain number, and then after that, it'll just give you an image of what it was, and it won't save the video because in order to save the video every single time, you need to sign up for their pro service. So right out of the box, this is included. This is a free, back-end service when you buy the Izon.
How much will it? So somebody breaks into my house. I got the camera on. It sees the motion. It starts recording. How much am I going to get?
Here, I'll show you. It's about 15 seconds-ish.
Okay.
And then. So here's my cat eating.
Now, is this in the dark?
This is in the dark. So this is in
the
middle of the night. It has the infrared LEDs on the front.
That's pretty good.
Now, and what's neat, I
it woke up because it saw your cat enter the room.
Absolutely. I wish that I could have showed you what it was like live, because you can set up a detection area with a little box. So you can say if motion happens, like say you may have a tree next to your front door that moves a lot, well, you can exclude that tree, so it isn't always setting off the motion event.
You can say, I only want to see something moving on the path.
Right, exactly. And I used this when I went to Austin recently for Christmas. I used this to keep track of my cats and make sure that they were moving around and eating their food, and make sure nothing was happening with them, because I worry about the cats. You can hear there's some sound in this file as well of one of the cats.
Wouldn't it be funny
eating.
if you heard somebody say, like, don't worry, Chad won't be home for a week? Or
right.
Like
Well, exactly. And I wasn't too. I was pretty. I wasn't too worried about the security of my apartment.
Right.
So I turned off sound events, which I'm sure the cats would have.
So you could have sound or motion.
You can do either or both. Obviously. Let me think. On top of that, you can add your multiple cameras. There's some guides. You can have push notifications.
Is it iPhone only?
Now I was looking for the other app. F and Dunn actually has also had one of these, and he said back when he had it, there was no Android app, and it says works with functions available on the iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch. So.
It's iOS.
iOS. Well,
there
there's the Google Play version of it.
So they do have an Android version.
Yeah, it just does not. It doesn't say that on the box. I kind of wish I was back on Android so I could show you those things. But yeah, on the box it only shows iOS devices all over. So quickly, let's look at the hardware. It's small. It has this base that's magnetic.
Oh, that's neat.
So you can attach this and you can point.
It's easy to aim it.
Right. It's very easy to aim it whichever way you like. This could also be attached to a wall, so that using these little screw things, and it comes with some included screws as well. So you could really do whatever the heck you want with it to make sure that it gets a good shot in your house, which I really like. On the back there is a USB port for it's like the mini USB port, which it's with its own specialized cable. It gives you quite a lot of cable. It gives you about, I'd say, 5 feet of cable.
And that powers as well as data?
That powers, now the data's wireless, so you're going to want Wi-Fi in your house.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's really a power cord, that USB
It's a
cord.
power cord only.
Nothing else. Okay.
Absolutely. But it just is shaped like a USB sort of thing. And then down the front are the infrared LEDs inside of there, and the microphones on the front with the webcam as well. In terms of functionality, I feel like it worked fine. I got so many push notifications when I was away. That was almost a con, that it couldn't group them together. It couldn't somehow say, hey, there were 50 events that happened.
Right.
But it would just constantly ping you every single time, especially if the cats were eating. It only takes 30-second clips. So if they were eating for, say, 15 minutes, that's 30 push notifications that would happen over that 15 minutes.
Well, consider that for your application, if you're waiting for a burglar to break in, that you would want to push a notification.
Right. But when are you
you're
waiting?
monitoring babies, cats, dogs, anything that moves a lot, not so hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, when are you waiting for a burglar to arrive at your apartment?
Security. That's the idea of security.
Sure. I guess.
Is that it would alert me that something's moving in there.
Right.
You wouldn't expect that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I would almost wish that it would be able to say, hey, there's movement, and then
And I'm going to ignore it
maybe
for a
give
while.
me one push notification that
Right.
movement has started, and then another movement has stopped. That would have been much more enjoyable.
This is
of
a crowded field. I mean, there's Dropcam, which
Yes.
Google owns, and there's a lot of other similar devices. How much is the Pro subscription if you're going to store stuff in the cloud?
The Pro subscription, I forget that right off the top of my head.
So this is $150 for the camera.
Well, that's MSRP. You can find it easily online
For less. Oh, look at
less.
that. $9 or $79. And the one we have is the View, not the 2.0. So
Right. We have the View. We have the Izon.
So it's $100. So that's very inexpensive. The image looks good. I like it that it has night vision. And I love the little mounting thing. That's
There's a few
nicely done.
features that, and in this space, not all like the drop cam that you mentioned is probably the biggest competitor. I kind of wish that you could talk back. I reviewed a camera a while back, a security camera that you could talk back, where you could hit the button, you know, and it would say a little, you know, get away from me, that cat food.
I'm watching you.
Sella, if you scratch that post one more time. Sella's the name of my cat. So there's a few other features it could have, but for the price, for $100 for a security camera that has a back end that you don't have to pay for, is pretty good.
But for more than just 10 seconds or 15 seconds of video, you have to pay 30 seconds. You have to pay.
Well, no, you get. I'm upset that I was hoping that, you know, if it connected, I could have easily hit the Buy Pro thing and figure out the price.
You could see that.
But it can't connect, so that's an issue. But it will save, let's say, 10 30-second clips a day, but after those 10, it will only take a photo, and you can't get that back. That's one thing. It's not retroactive. So let's say there was a burglary, and you're like,
too late.
Yeah, too late.
Right.
You know, you might have the first 10 events that happen throughout the day, but whatever.
So pros and cons.
So pros are that the hardware is really well made. For the
cool.
price, it has this really cool magnetic base. It has, so you know, all the different parts of the hardware. That it's small.
The night vision looked really good.
Night vision worked well.
Yeah.
The microphone is not the best quality, but it's really sensitive, which you want in a security camera. And the night vision. So that's the pro of the product. The con is the app was very buggy. It's a very slow product, and I had connection issues. I couldn't even. I mean,
well, again, we've had.
It's still,
I can tell
the setup process is really difficult.
Kind of wonky.
It's like, yeah, I'll give it a pass. That in our studio,
this is an unusually bad environment.
In our studio, it didn't work. But the setup process was not
even
smooth.
at home.
Even at home.
Okay.
Even at home.
So
buy, try, don't buy. I'm having a really difficult time with this one because the price is competitive, and the actual product is great. I love the hardware.
Right.
I wish that they would get a real developer and a real UX designer and real server backend to fix some of the annoying issues. But that's not the product that I reviewed. That product doesn't exist. So I'm gonna have to give it a try.
But the software is the falling.
The software is the big fall on the
But that
Izon
could get better too.
View. That's exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's just like you said, hiring somebody and writing it.
Exactly.
All right, very good. There you go. A try for the Izon View security camera, IZON. And as little as $100, we saw $100.
Yes,
That's not
and
bad.
I also saw on Amazon, not through Amazon directly, but through a partner, you could get for $88 or something like
Wow,
that. So,
even less.
So there's options around for you.
I have to say, I love the looks. That's, by the way, OMG Chad,
Thank you.
Our good friend and the host of OMG Craft, which you'll find on youtube.com/OMG Chad. Figure that out. Chad is what you need to remember.
Well, youtube.com/OMG Craft for the show. YouTube.com/OMG
for Patreon,
Chad
OMG
for
Chad.
me. There's a show and there's a personal account.
You have
Just
your
like
own little
there's Twit
videos.
and there's Leo Laporte.
Exactly.
Right. So OMG Chad is me, OMG Craft is the show, and then OMG Chad is the YouTube. Patreon.com/OMG Chad. I should probably just put it all on OMGChad.com and just go there, and there will be links to everything.
It'd be easy, but you know what? Let's not. Let's not.
Let's not
dwell
make
on
it
that.
easy.
Let's not make it easy. If you want
Call
people who care.
1-800-OMG-CHAD.
You care. You want people who care enough to figure it out. This is, I mean, I really like the look of this. And the company that makes it, Beyerdynamics, is one of the best-known high-end headphone manufacturers in the world. Wow. So we gave these are actually headphones for a cell phone. So he's got a little microphone and everything on there. We gave these to Tanya Hall, the host of our marketing show, and asked her, Marketing Mavericks, asked her what she thought of the Beyerdynamics T51i headphones. Tanya?
Hi, I'm Tanya Hall, the host of Marketing Mavericks here on Twit TV, and I'm here to review the Beyerdynamics T51i over-the-ear headset. In fact, They call this their Tesla version. If you've seen the Beyerdynamics T51i, it's very similar to this. In fact, pretty much the only difference is they did listen to the customer, and they included a mic and external control. So you have right here the mic and an up and down for volume, or maybe to change the set that you're listening to. I typically like over the ear, but these on ear headphones were really comfortable, and even though they are not noise canceling, they actually did cancel out a lot of the noise. I didn't hear a lot of what was going around me, and the studio here is pretty crazy, so that's an actual huge advantage when wearing these. The quality of these headphones was great. The treble was really sharp. The bass was on target. The music itself that I listened to, and I listen to a wide spectrum of music. I actually have a wide variety of taste in music, and everything I listened to came across really clear. Besides the headphones, with the headphones, you get a nylon carrying case that's really handy when you're spending a lot of money on headphones. You want to protect them. You get a 1/4-inch adapter. Actually, you have a couple of adapters, including one that's an airplane adapter. Again, I really liked this headset, and I listened to it for quite some time. One of the things I liked the most about it is that it's so compactable. I mean, it's really easy to carry it at just about anywhere, with or without the case. And sometimes I travel, and I only take my backpack. And so if and I might want something really high quality, if that's the case, then I'm stuck with something kind of bulky in my backpack. This does not take up a lot of room. Pros are that it's really compact, that it's really soft, and the quality of the sound was great. A con is that it's on ear versus over ear, but like I said, these were actually really comfortable, so I actually really like these. I'm going to give the Beyerdynamics T51i a buy.
Well, the price is high, but you know what? I have to say, people's expectation for headphone pricing is a little bit skewed by the cheap in-ear headphones that you see, the Skull Candies and the Apple headphones, and those really aren't as good. In the traditional days of audiophile headphones, $300 for a pair of headphones is not unusual, and this is one of the great names in headphones, so I'm not surprised that they sound pretty good. A definite buy for the T51i. Thank you, Tanya Hall, host of Marketing Mavericks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to shave. I shave my head. Now you shave your head. Although, if I were to continue shaving my head, you better believe I'd be using Harry's. Harry's is the best. Harry's is, well, you might say, oh, I know, it's subscription, razor blades by subscription. Yes and no. Because first of all, you start with a Harry's kit, and they've got great kits. The Winston kit, which is their kind of higher end kit, $25. Beautiful metal handle. With both kits, the Winston and the Truman's $15. You get 3 blades, which is a great deal. You get the incredible foaming gel shave cream, and you also get this great travel holder that keeps your blade safe in your Dopp kit there and like that. But what you're really paying for is the best blades you've ever used. That's where Harry's wanted to focus. They said, not only are people paying too much, but we could sell direct to people, cut the cost in half. But they went this one step further. They said, but where are the best blades made? They found there are 2 factories in Germany where the best blades are made. They bought one of them. They literally bought the factory. And they tell the factory, we want our blades to be made beautifully, perfectly, as well as possible for sharpness and high performance. And that's why you get a blade better than any other. You'll get a better shave than you've ever had before. You add that with a Harry's shave gel, and you are going to get an amazing shave. And then, once you get the kit, you subscribe and you get your Harry's blades delivered to your door for free shipping in the U.S. and Canada, free. And now you're talking. I mean, this is a great deal. For about half the cost you'd pay for that high-end blade, you're going to get the best shave you've ever had. Start with the starter kit, the Truman's, for just $15. And if you want to save a little more, use the offer code before you buy, all one word, at harrys.com. You'll take $5 off that. $10. $10. That's a great deal. Get started with Harry's today, and you tell me if it ain't the best shave you've ever had. HARRYS.com. And just don't forget to use the offer code before you buy when you check out to get $5 off on your first purchase. Harry's, Beyerdynamics.com. We love them. Now it's time to move on with another review. This one from Shannon Moore. Snubs. She has the Rapoo A600. You know, it takes a lot of nerve to name a product Poo. In my opinion. It's a small company. But the question is, with a name like Rapoo, do they have to be good? Let's find out.
Hey everyone, I'm Shannon Morse with Before You Buy, and this week I'm reviewing the Rapoo Wireless Bluetooth Speaker A600. You can find this online for $99.99, so a whole $100, but I did find it as low as $60, so keep your eye tuned to that. Yay, sales! It's available in this nice aluminum alloy color, and on the inside you have the option to get blue, green, red, yellow, or white, so several different options for all of you stylish people out there. This Bluetooth speaker can do either Bluetooth 4.0, NFC, and on the back it also has aux-in capability as well as your regular micro USB charging and your on-off button. On the front you'll notice that you have a nice LED that lights up blue every time you turn it on. Now it also has the ability to do calls via the microphone that's built in. The call quality is pretty good. I noticed no drop-offs or anything like that, and I was able to walk away from the speaker and be able to hear it very clearly whenever I was talking to people over the phone, and I was using my Samsung Galaxy Note 4 for that. It easily connects over Bluetooth, no problems there either, for about 10 hours of playtime. The battery life was excellent and it took almost no time to charge, so I was very happy with that as well. And you can also connect two devices simultaneously to this speaker. Other than fighting over what kind of music you want to listen to, not sure why you would necessarily want to do that. Now it measures 5.59 inches by 1.57 by 2.64, and it only weighs about 1.5 pounds, so not very bad at all. This is definitely something that you can make into a travel companion. You could just throw it into your backpack and run away if you wanted to. Now, as far as the music and sound quality goes, I noticed a slight distortion at highest volumes whenever I was playing all sorts of different kinds of music. Mostly I noticed that with larger bass sounds that I was listening to. Also on the bass. It's kind of non-existent, especially with house music or techno, electronica, Daft Punk, things like that. I didn't notice much bass coming out of this at all. On vocals and instrumentals though, or if you're more of a podcast listener, I was listening to Pink Floyd on this and I had no problems listening to that. I could hear all the different instruments. It was very clear. Now, as well, I should mention that there was a slight feedback whenever I was listening to this too. There was like a white noise in the background whenever I was listening to very, very quiet moments in songs or while I was connecting between one device to another device. So it was just kind of a strange moment whenever I was listening to those quieter songs that I've never noticed with the speaker before, so I definitely felt like I should mention that. I did want to mention as well that there is a companion app that you can download on Google Play. However, I didn't necessarily need this because I was using Google Music the entire time, so I didn't use that very much. Now on the pros, it is very stylish, it's well built, it doesn't feel like it's going to break if you accidentally drop it or anything like that, and it is NFC capable, and I love speakers that are NFC capable because it's so easy to connect. Now on the con side though, there's relatively no bass, and I had an issue with that because I love my house music, and there was that white noise feedback which when you're listening to the music isn't that noticeable, but when you're switching from one device to another or one song to another, it can get kind of annoying. So is this a buy, try, or a don't buy? I give the Rapoo A600 a don't buy. I'm pretty sure you can figure out why. Again, this is Shannon Morse for you Before You Buy.
So do not buy for something named Rapoo. What a surprise.
Big surprise.
Thank you, Shannon Morse. Before we get on with the Before You Buy show, let me tell you a little bit about something that was a big discovery for us at home. Blue Apron. Now, I like to cook. I really do. But I often, you know, we're done at the end of the day. I'm tired. I want to go shopping. I don't want to think about my meal planning. I never plan ahead. So I love it when I get home and there's my Blue Apron box on my door because Blue Apron sends me everything, all the ingredients I need to cook a delicious meal simply and easily. Inside, you'll see those cards, the recipe cards, the coded recipe cards. And I mean every ingredient, like even the salt, everything you need, so I don't have to go shopping. The exact ingredients in the exact proportions, fresh. They all come from local farms, so they're not only at their peak of freshness, but they're currently in season, which is nice. Meals, no, not frozen, nothing frozen. Meals are 500 to 700 calories a serving. Delicious. And at $9.99 per person per meal, they're really affordable. This is great. If you want to make a meal for two, they have a family kit too. You can make it for a larger one. They work around your schedule. You tell them what your dietary preferences are. In every case, cooking about half an hour. Shipping is always free, and the menu is always featuring new stuff. In fact, they'll never send you the same meal twice. Plus, it gives you confidence. Once you've made chicken charlemagne with roasted root vegetables and parsnip potato mash, you have the recipe card. You're going to make it again. It's easy. You know you've done it. I don't know what Korean-style tiak is. I've never had it with spicy pork ragu and gai lan. But, man, that looks good. Incredible. And the recipe is also online in case you lose the card. You will cook incredible meals. You'll be blown away by the quality and the freshness. And you're going to love it. Fresh, fast, super affordable. You will cook like a gourmet chef. And guys, can I tell you something? Just between us, you want to impress a young lady. Make a dinner for two, set up the candles, make something gourmet like this. You don't have to tell her you got it at Blue Apron. She's going to be blown away. This is stuff fresh prepared. You are not buying something made already and defrosting it and thawing and cooking in the micro. You're doing the cooking. I got to warn you. But it's fun. You will feel so accomplished. We've got 2 meals for you for free, so there's really no reason not to try it. BlueApron.com/twit. Just go to BlueApron.com/twit. The other reason you're going to like this better than just getting a meal prepared and heating it up, your house will smell fantastic. And that's going to impress people too. You cooked for me? I did. BlueApron.com/twit. 2 free meals await you. Mike Elgin, he is our news director, the host of TNT Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 1800 UTC. Right. And in his spare time, he likes to review Kindles.
Pink products. Yeah.
Is this the new Kindle Fire?
Close. This is the Amazon Fire HD 6. This is the Amazon Fire HD 7.
They dropped the Kindle.
They dropped the Kindle because I think they wanted to differentiate with the reading.
From the reader.
Specific. Yeah, exactly.
This is a tablet that does have reading capability.
Yes, you can read. It's actually not. It's actually very good at for ebooks. So these are very, very low cost devices. They're almost identical except for the size. They have the same screen resolutions and so on.
Okay, so the little one I have is like a giant cell phone, like something.
Yeah, it's a 6-inch. They have cell phones that are 6 inches.
Yeah.
This one has 6-inch screen plus a huge bezel. It's very thick and heavy. In fact,
it's heavy.
Burke was noticing earlier that these are the same weight. Feel this. They're approximately.
Actually, I think the big one might be lighter.
Exactly. That's what we were thinking. So the 6, the HD Fire. The Fire HD 6 is extremely thick, extremely heavy.
I have my Nexus 6 with me. You can compare the screen sizes. It's a little bit bigger, not much. Actually, you know what? It's not. It's 6. It's exactly the same.
Yeah,
with a bigger bezel.
But this magenta job here is cheap. It's $99.
What?
This one's $139.
What? Wait a minute. $99?
$99. And
this is on my account. You have my books.
That's right. And
How come you have my books on here?
I've really enjoyed them.
Wait a minute. I'm confused.
Read some of them. I have no idea why that is.
This has my books on it.
I pulled it out, and it was shrink wrapped.
Did it say hello, Leo?
It did actually. There was.
Of course it did. Yeah. These are my books. I'm puzzled, but okay.
They must have. I guess
somebody ordered them on my Amazon account is what they did,
yeah,
and I'd sure like to know who did that.
Yeah.
All right, so apparently I own these now.
Yes. So let me know how
there it is as a reader.
Book turns out.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about
Actually,
that.
this is a great book, and then there were none, Agatha Christie. I love it. I'm reading it right now. All right, so
okay, so they have cameras, 2 megapixel cameras.
Yeah, no,
so it's like going back to yesteryear.
Yeah, but dude, it's $99.
Yes. Now you'll notice that the plastic on this is not the good kind of plastic. This is the kind that you get a Slurpee in when you get the special commemorative Slurpee, and it's slippery too. So this is not a great surface to have on the back of your tablet. Of course, it's Wi-Fi only. These are basically bare bones. What do you sacrifice for those prices? You get a pretty good screen, which
I have to say the screen is better than I would expect for $99.
Yeah, when you look at certain whites, things that are supposed to be white, they actually look
a little bluey.
We were looking before that. If you look
that one's blue and this one's yellow.
Yeah, they all tend in general to go. It looks blue from your angle, but if you look at it straight on, you see that it's yellowy.
Okay.
our monitors make them look good, actually, but in real life they look very orangey.
But they're high res. They look like they're pretty high res.
They are pretty high res, yes. Yep. And so that's really, the sound quality is very low quality. Yeah, the price is very, very low. The problem is, well, we'll get to the recommendation at the end. Now, these of course run a forked version of Android 4.4 KitKat called the Fire OS 4.
Right.
It's codenamed Sangria, and it's it's optimized for buying stuff on Amazon, of course, as you might imagine.
Even the App Store is the Amazon App Store.
Google Play, direct access to Google Play on these devices. They're so. You'll notice that if you scroll through the user interface, it's not bad. When you get into videos and games, or if you do a lot of fast scrolling through devices, you get some hiccups with the performance.
Because it feels pretty snappy.
Yeah, it does.
This way, right?
They've really optimized it for anytime you're looking at anything on Amazon, they've done a good job with that. And of course, they have the Silk browser, which Amazon has also designed. Now, one of the bad things about this is that one of the great things about Amazon tablets is Mayday instant customer service. These don't have it. Right. So if you have a question, you're not going to get the little video head that pops up and tells you the answer to your questions.
Look, this has been so long since I subscribed to the New York Times. It says Obama and Romney have first debate. That's exciting. I wonder who won.
By the way, when I looked at one of the funny things about the fact that this is your account is when it came up, it said Leo's 10th Kindle.
Yeah. Oh, I have a lot of them.
Yeah. 10 Kindles is a lot of Kindles.
Yeah. But so clearly this is the idea. This is $99, and how much is that? 150?
139.
139. Is that these if you are one of those people who say I need a tablet, or the kids need a tablet.
Yep. Well, that's the other thing about this. They have a special kids version of both of these called the Kids Edition. They're a little extra. So the 6-inch Kids Edition is $149. The 7-inch Kids Edition is $189. They come with a even more bezel. They come with a case that sort of kid-proofs it. And they also are guaranteed for 2 years. So if they flush it, they break it completely, they'll replace it. And that comes with the special Plus Free Time Unlimited subscription. So
I thought that was
tons
really
of content.
Cool.
So that's part of why you might want to recommend this is that, if it's for kids, it's really a great offering for kids. Right. You can turn them loose on the unlimited subscription, and then they can just choose their own content. And it's all, sort of approved for children. Right. So that's a very nice thing.
I have to say, for this price, I mean, there are people for $100 that go, they buy the 5 and dime Polaroid tablet that's running an old version of Android. At least Amazon keeps this version of Android up.
Yeah.
Well, give me the pros and cons.
Okay. So the pros are that they're inexpensive. The performance and screen are okay. They're actually pretty good in direct sunlight. So that's a plus if you want to read outside. And they come in fruity colors. In addition to this
what else besides
retina
pink?
searing pink, they also have black, white, cobalt, and citron. In other words, I guess blue, yellow,
citron.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
It's like a fruitcake flavor, I think.
So,
oh, man.
They're brightly colored. So those are pros. The cons are that they kind of feel cheap, thick, and heavy. The screen is only good if you look at it directly on. At the edges, there's distortion.
Right.
There's color distortion, other distortions. The screen is extremely reflective. You can see that if you're watching the video. This is a very reflective screen, and that's not good.
That's probably so it looks good with TV and video, because this is really also designed to play Amazon Prime Video, right?
Yes. Yeah. Now you'll notice that the sound does not sound good. One of the few differences between these two is that the 6 has a single speaker at the bottom. The 7 has 2 speakers on what would be the side.
That's a little better, maybe.
It still doesn't sound that great.
Does it come with headphones?
It doesn't come with headphones, but another curiosity about this is that everything, actually it might, I'm not certain about that, but everything is on the top. You see the headphone jack, the microphone,
and the USB cable.
The USB where you plug it in and the power button are all on the top. That's kind of weird, and the only thing on the bottom on
the
on
volume
that one is
controls on the side.
Exactly.
Here. Yeah.
So that's kind of an odd thing. Now,
but it can play pinball.
It can. That's one of the first games I saw.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not unhappy with this.
Now, you may be surprised at these prices that I'm going to say that this is a do not buy, and I'm going to tell you
I am surprised. Yeah.
The reason is that the Fire HDX, also from Amazon, is slightly more expensive and way better performance.
How much is the HDX?
For the 7-inch, it's $179. Okay. That's just $40 more. For $40 more, you can get something that's not going to frustrate you, that's going to be much better for games and movies and things like that, and it's going to be more satisfactory. You know, it's cheap tablets sound great, and then you're going to have it for a couple of years at least, and it's going to frustrate you with the content. With a little more, you can get a much better device. Do not buy.
If you could spend a little bit more, you'll get a better thing. On the other hand, if you say, I have to have I can only afford a $100 tablet, maybe for the kids.
Yes.
This is so much better than the cheap Android stuff we've seen.
Yeah.
That I have to say, this would be you know, if you can't spend a penny more, it's not a bad choice.
Yep. And we're not reviewing the kids edition, but I think the kids edition
that might be something to look at.
Something to really
unlimited replacements. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. A do not buy for the Amazon Fire 6 here and the 7 there. And you know, one thing I've learned from this segment is I better change my Amazon password pretty quick.
Yeah, yep. But not too quick. I still have some more books I want to download.
Thank you, Mike Elgin, our news director here at the Twit Brickhouse. Thanks also to Shannon, OMG Chad, and I know there's somebody else who did a review, and I just, for the life of me. Tanya. Thank you, Tanya Hall. We do Before You Buy each and every week on Tuesdays. You can subscribe. You get the whole show at twit.tv/BYB. You can also go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/beforeyoubuy. And we do something unique there. We not only have the whole show. I'm sorry, I'm still playing pinball. You can turn that off. We still have the whole show, but we also have each individual review. Makes it easy to share with somebody who's in the market for a product that we review. If you've got an idea for something you'd like to see, do email byb@twit.tv. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Remember, you got to watch before you buy. Take care.